Welcome back to the 2019 Cannabis Industry Summit by Steward Media. Joining us now is Leah Bailey from Flourish. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
I want to know about your educational background. It is fascinating to me. You went to some good schools.
Well, thank you. A long time ago.
Well, hey, a long time ago. There's still really good schools, and there's still really great schools right now. Tell me about your time at Johns Hopkins and then Harvard.
Sure. So I was a political science major at Johns Hopkins and got to work in the Senate in D.C. for a while.
That's fun.
Which it's really fun because I've never gotten to go back to that whole political science background until this industry, where dealing with all the regulations and things like that, I get a little bit of that back. So it's very fun.
Yeah.
And I left Hopkins and then decided to go into business. So I went to business school at Harvard Business School a long time ago. And I specialized in marketing. Marketing is really my background.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how much politics has changed from the time you were roaming around those halls in school? Because I was a political science major too, and I went out and visited. It's really so different now.
Oh yeah, it was such an interesting time too, because it was at that point one of the senators had to be put back in. Somebody had gone away, and it was New Hampshire, and they had to elect a new senator within the Senate. It was fascinating, and as a kid they let me do a whole lot of stuff, so I loved it.
So you got into marketing, and you worked with Global Beauty, right?
Most recently, right before this.
So tell me about that.
Okay.
And that's a big marketing thing, right?
Well, it was a good title, President of Global Beauty. Who doesn't want to be President of Global Beauty, right?
Everyone on the globe wants to be beautiful.
Exactly. Well, yeah, for sure. So I was the president of a $400 million division of Helen of Troy, and Helen of Troy has beauty care products, but they also have things like Hydro Flask and Braun thermometers and OXO and all sorts of different things. But the division I had was the original division, and it has Revlon hair appliances, Hot Tools, Brute for the guys, know that one. Sure, and Per Plus. So it was very, very fun, and I loved it. And it was a good marketing company, and had a really great time in El Paso, Texas.
All right, and so now you're with Flourish, and tell us about that and how maybe some of your past experience helps you today.
Sure. So I had come back from Texas. I live in Illinois, and I was doing some teaching and I was doing some consulting, and I got a call and said, hey, I know this company in Michigan that really wants a branded person to run it as their CEO. Mm-hmm. I said, well, number one, I would love to do a startup, because how much fun is that, taking something from the very beginning? And we had an empty piece of land over a year ago, and now we are fully growing, and we have 2 greenhouses, 3 more are pretty much up and running, and then another, that's Adrian, Michigan, another facility in Grand Rapids. So to be able to take it from nothing and build that was awesome. But the thing that they said that really made a difference was we want to build a brand. Okay. And so to be able to go into an industry that has not a whole lot of branding, and of course very splintered by state, and be able to do something from scratch was something I was like, I can't say no to that. I got to go do that. So it's been great.
So paint a picture for us of what it looks like, that piece of land now. What's going on up there?
Oh, it's amazing. It's so again, nothing on it at all, and we did the greenhouses to look very farm-like, so they're all bright red, so that it looks like a farm coming out of this area that has nothing else around, very agricultural. And the 2 greenhouses are fully operational. There's a processing part that's coming on in about a month now, and then 3 more greenhouses on the way, and quite a few more in the future.
So this is a grow operation.
Yes, it's a grow, because we want to be a branded manufacturer. So we want the brand Flourish to be every possible place that you could buy medical marijuana, and in the future adult use marijuana. So our brand is Flourish. We also will have a few provisioning centers that are brand experience, so that people can come in and feel what Flourish is all about. But for the most part, we're trying to make a brand that will be sold in other provisioning centers.
And so tell me how this actually is going to happen, because how do you connect to the marijuana industry or cannabis, and what does Flourish say to me?
Well, we hope it will say to you, and we have a really incredible marketing department. Our chief marketing officer came from RX Bars, if you're familiar. So
sure.
Yeah, also from consumer products. Yeah. And obviously we do have quite a few people who have cannabis experience as well, but she has very strong marketing experience. So what we're trying to do, or will do, is build a brand that we think will appeal to the people who are really more curious about cannabis and marijuana, and say, hey, I'm really interested, but they're acceptors, but they don't really know how to enter the market, and they'll feel more comfortable, we think, about our brand. It's a wellness brand. We have a medical panel of 4 physicians that are helping us in terms of understanding how to go after this product in a very safe way. And so we believe we're going to bring a product to market where people will say, oh, if it's Flourish, I feel really comfortable that either the person in the provisioning center is going to suggest the right thing for me because they will have been educated right by Flourish, sure, or because of whatever I know about it from the outside marketing world, I feel comfortable with that brand. I know it's consistent, I know it's high quality, and I know I'm going to get what they say I'm going to get.
Do you feel like the lion's share of your work is kind of educating people right now? now, rather than some marketing pizzazz or branding pizzazz?
Yeah, and we're not really about pizzazz. We're about, telling a story about a product that we think is outstanding. We've got a phenomenal group of cultivation people who are putting together a great product. We've got great quality control. So we believe we've got a great product, and now we just need to help people understand the best way to use it to help them be more well.
And that's why you got so many experts involved in the program.
That's our focus. We don't want to just sell something. We want to sell a lifestyle. We want to sell something that makes a difference in your life.
So let's get a little of your expertise to the viewers.
Okay.
What is the one thing you'd tell anybody who's going into this industry that they really need to do, or the one or two things they really need to pay attention to?
There's two things that I feel really strongly about, and one is the marketing, of course, because I think you don't want to be a commodity, and with this pricing that's going all over the place, I think you have to always look at the consumer, understand the consumer-based pricing, so that you're not pushing it, you're really understanding what the consumer is willing to do, and then work with your distribution to be able to make that happen. And the second thing that I feel real strongly about, probably back from my background in running businesses, is profitability. What you've seen happen most recently, I think, with what's happened in the Canadian companies, is that people weren't focused so much on their balance sheets and their cash flow, and they were really focused on what I call a land grab.
Yeah.
I was in telecom, again, old, back when wireless was coming out in the internet, and I saw people do that, and they tried to go to as many places as they could and just try and be a little bit of everything, and then they ended up being nothing. So I would say this is a very expensive business. If you want to get in it, make sure you know you have the funding, and always make sure you understand the financials.
All right, Leah Bailey with Flourish. Thanks for being with us.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yep, we'll be back with more of the 2019 Cannabis Industry Summit. Stay with us.